Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you. Getting into my Mortgage Monday on a Tuesday. I apologize. This is supposed to go up Monday and I didn't film it because I got distracted and had an opportunity to meet a friend for lunch and just had a really blessed day and afternoon chatting with a mom who has a preschooler, and not every day does she get to have adult conversations. So it is always a good thing to meet with those mamas that have little children as well as us that have children that have all grown up and just spend time together. So that's pretty awesome. And so we are doing Mortgage Monday. We are doing what I have been tracking since January of 2023. And this is this year, September of 2024. The mortgage has been paid. This is the beginning balance, which was the new balance or the ending balance of after the mortgage was paid in August. So we're going to talk about several things today. We are going to go over where we are on the amortization schedule. We are going to go over where we are in how much we've saved, and then we're also going to go over the escrow. So you've seen all the answers. Let's dive into exactly how things worked out with my mortgage and what details I was able to notice and learn more about my mortgage and look deeper into my statements online, because basically I know how much my escrow pretty much is what's on the statement, but when I went to the website it broke it down even further, and I thought you guys might want to know that, but that would be the last part of the video. So we're going to start with this. My mortgage before September 1st payment was $242,256.25. That is what our beginning balance started with. Now we had always every month we have a principal payment and we have a principal only payment. One's part of the mortgage and one is part of something that I tell my mortgage company to take out at the same time my mortgage is paid. So it's set up on auto pay when my mortgage is paid. I have a $550 additional principal only payment. And if you've seen my channel, you'll know, that's exactly what I'm doing. This is to get me to December of 2038 when my husband turns 65, so we can go into retirement without a mortgage. That is the goal. And then our mortgage principal payment to satisfy the loan of the mortgage was $348.50. So our principal payment, and I'll show you the breakdown here in a minute where these numbers came from as well, was $898.50. I love it's still incrementally going up each month as I go through the year, that we're at this $898 to accelerate the pay down of the balance of the mortgage. You don't want it to go to interest, this extra payment. You want it all go to the principal, so that would drop faster and you will save money on interest. And I will show you that in a minute. So my new balance for September, let's go ahead and total that, $242,256.25 minus the $898.50. There we go. Is $241,357.75. That is amazing. I mean, to go from 242 to 241, just seeing that little bit, because that number is really close to 1,000, it just makes my heart so happy. So I'm excited about that. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm excited to have you here and happy that you have stumbled across my channel. This is one of my favorite videos to do, is Mortgage Mondays, even though this one's on a Tuesday. I apologize again. But I do love this so much because it just keeps me motivated to not touch that extra $550 principal only payment that I don't have to pay, and keep accelerating the mortgage pay down as fast as possible, because it fits within our budget and we're willing to live within our means and put that in our budget to to make sure our dreams come true and not to have a mortgage when we turn 65. So that is the goal. I'm so happy. I'm also happy to see, even though we have to pay over $1,000 in interest every month, that this month's interest was lower than the previous month, which was, this month was $1,209.26. So that was pretty good. That was awesome. I do love that right there, and that I'm seeing this dropped. But since I went from this amount, $242,000 to $241,000, I've jumped 3 months ahead in the amortization schedule. So we're going to highlight that, we're going to look at it, and we're going to look at the numbers and see how that translates in what we saved. Okay, so this is my mortgage amortization schedule. I printed this on the first payment I had once my mortgage was sold. So this actually starts from the very beginning when I first got my loan in October of 2022. Now I did have to write this in because it's not part of what was already on here, because this was one bank and then they sold it and it went to another bank. So processing center and bank. So they have the mortgage now, and they just process it every month. So that's pretty good, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that half of it because I don't really want to deep dive into that. But we've consistently had them since November of 2022, so I just add that number to the totals. And our starting balance was here at $260,100. This starting balance was the mortgage, not including the 10% we put down, which was $28,900. So is that right? Yeah, $28,900 is what we put down, and then this is what was left of what we owed on the house, and that was the mortgage amount, and there we go from there. So that worked out really, really well. And we are here, September of 2024. I got a little paper here, maybe I can kind of underline that a little bit. Now, I reached September 2024 in July of 2023. It was so exciting. So we have already satisfied this month's payment, and now we can look at the numbers. My minimum balance, if I did not add any extra principal-only payments, it would have been at $290.91. But because I kept adding that $550 starting in January of 2023, my new number was $348.50, significantly higher than this. So that I'm happy to see. The interest amount I would have paid if I didn't add any extra was $1,266.85, and we know that it was $1,209.26, and total interest would have been $29,490.81. So yeah, that would have been a slow-moving mortgage payoff. It just looks like snail pace to me when I see that. So we have gone way beyond $253,502.90, which is where I would have been back at if I had not accelerated my monthly payments and automated them and have them happen every month. I was hoping that by doing it every month, it would be exciting every month and not slow moving or a drag, and I would have content for you guys. I was hoping it would turn out this way, and it has, and I'm so excited about that. So we are going to jump way ahead because we've already finished this front side, and we're all the way over here, and we're jumping 3 months from the last time we did this, which was August of 2027 and August of 2024. So they kind of matched up 3 years. And our new balance, and then get that little sticky note I have here. So we're looking for something close to $241,357.75. And that jumps us to, there's September, there's October, and then there is November. And since this is like around a $50 difference between this November and this number, this is where I'm going to highlight at. It won't be exact, it won't be perfect, but that's okay. So I have jumped up to November of 2027 on the amortization schedule from what it is now, which is September. I love putting this here, September of 2024. So I like putting these dates to remind myself when I got to this point and look at the difference of how far I have jumped. In September of 2024, I'm at November of 2027. That just is mind-boggling. Like, I can't even visualize it in my mind. It's so crazy, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to find a color that I like, a pink color this time, just to kind of brighten it out, and go from there. There we go. 2 and 3 months ahead. So there we go. That is so exciting. That looks so amazing. So let's put my sticky note away. And now we're going to move on to taking this information and translating it to how much money did we save in interest thus far. So you've seen this spreadsheet. I print this out every month. I put a little sticker on it, a little house sticker on it, which I absolutely love. And it has all the numbers from October 22 or 2022 for the beginning of the mortgage balance, and then I subtract the principal out and then what the new balance is, and then I just kind of track the interest paid over here. I'm glancing at it, make sure I did everything right, and it looks like I have, and we are good to go there. So sometimes when I do these spreadsheets, I don't do them right. So I'm just making sure. I am running out of room for usually my stickers up here, and now it's down here. So definitely as the month goes, or the year goes on, I could probably get 1 year to 1 page, and that's probably what I'm going to do instead of, well, no, I've got almost 2 years. So I can do 2 years to a page. So that'd be kind of cool. This is going to have 2 years, 3 months, and that's fine. Hopefully I can get it all fit on here. So here we go. We, as I showed before, there was the previous month's ending balance, or the balance of the mortgage. This does not mean this is the, what do you call it, payoff amount. This is just the balance of the mortgage. A payoff amount would actually have like other fees attached to it, and you wouldn't know what they are until you're ready to pay off your mortgage. Hopefully when I get to pay off my mortgage in 13, 14 years, whatever it is now, I can show you the process, or at least explain to you the process that it goes through and what my bank is going to do, and how I can keep all the paperwork straight and all that stuff. No promises, but hopefully I can do that. $898.50 was what the principal, and now we're here at $241.35.75 for the new balance. There's the $1209.29 for the interest paid. Total interest paid thus far since the beginning of my mortgage is $30,194.02. This is where I get to discover how much we potentially saved, or we definitely saved. It's not going to be an exact number, but it's a good close to round estimate. It might be a little over, it might be a little under, but regardless, we have knowledge, and this is just for our personal knowledge. This is not really to add anything else. But when you jump ahead every time you make an additional mortgage payment, you are actually saving a lot of interest, because those months you jump ahead, you're not paying that interest. Both of these months were $1,200 each, so I didn't have to pay that number twice or 3 times. Because I had all 3 months, I only had to pay it once. So that is how I'm saving that mortgage. So we know I paid $30,000 because we know this number, and that goes there. Amortization interest. So I take where we're at in the amortization schedule, and you remember that number I talked about at the top of this page on the first one? This is what I did with the previous bank, and that's why it's up here, so I can keep track of this number. That was the first interest payment paid, and you can see I have it right here. I need to include this with this number because that calculation is not in here, because it was a totally different bank and they didn't bring it over like that. So $1,298.33 plus the $76,485.93. Words were not wording very well. All right, gave us $77,784.26, which is what I put here. That's where I got that number from. I subtract that $30,000 that we know we already paid in interest, and we have an estimated amount of saving $47,590.24 that we do not have to pay in the future because we jumped ahead 2 or 3 months every month in our amortization schedule. Every time I talk about this, every time I see the number grow, I am flabbergasted. I'm just overwhelmed and amazed to what that number looks like, because my actual interest paid is $17,000 less almost than what I actually saved, and that looks amazing to me. That just looks so beautiful to me, to know we're making that much progress that quickly. I mean, I'm talking 2 years. We've done October 20, this is September of 2024. Yeah, we're pretty much, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We have hit 2 years of payments to this, and in 2 years I have saved $47,590 estimated, and we only paid $30,000 in interest, not the $77,000 that we could have paid. In 2 years, we've made this much progress by consistently doing that $550 a month every month except for the first 3. And you can see here I didn't do that in the first 3, but I did start in January 2022. And in 2 months from now, if you just take it from January of 2022, then you could really see how much more significant that $550 was. I am just floored every time I do this. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now I'm going to show you that last piece of paper where I included the escrow. Escrow is not something I talk about much, and I thought this might be a good time to kind of break it down and kind of show you what you're paying, well, what we're paying in escrow and what it breaks down to. Maybe this will help you learn more about your mortgage. It's easy to go online if you're logged in and go online and kind of go around to all the different pages and find, what does your escrow mean? How much is it? And how is it broke down and things like that. And that's what I did today, and I thought that would be good extra content here. So let me get that. Okay, I'm back. So here is going to be my breakdown of my entire mortgage. I'm going to start with my mortgage payment. If you see any of my videos where I'm talking about my mortgage and how much we pay every month, right now this is the mortgage payment until they readjust for county taxes, which probably will make it go up next year. And I think the reassessment should be applied in January. Again, my property values have gone up, so it's going to make some changes. And so we'll just adjust and move on from there. But this is a good way, move this out of the way for a second. This is a good way to kind of take a look and understand your mortgage better. Now, I didn't want to pull a statement up and have to white out everything, so I just hand wrote it out. That's the actual mortgage I pay. The extra principal only payment that I'm always talking about is $550. So I'm going to subtract that from this mortgage payment. And I'm doing that first because this will give you an idea of what I actually required to pay for the mortgage. If I didn't do an extra payment, this is what it would look like. So my mortgage is actually $1,972.99. This just happens to be those two numbers combined, and I call it my mortgage, even though it's mortgage and an extra debt payment. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to take out my principal payment for the month that was required for the mortgage, just like I talked about earlier. This is an extra principal only payment, and this is the actual principal payment, and the two of them combined create that what was it again? $898.50 or 5 cents, something like it. So there's that. Oh, yeah, 50 cents. So now I know that number. That gives me a total of $1,624.84 $1,000,000.94. So where does that money go? If we know the principal has already been taken out, and that's what changes the mortgage balance, what is this $1,600 going to? So here's where it's going to. $1,209.26 went to interest. Ugh. Though I've saved over $40,000 in interest by doing the $550 extra mortgage payment a month, every month, still seeing this, it still rips my heart out. Anyway, moving past that, then we get into the escrow. So the escrow that's left is $415.23. Of that, I have a mortgage insurance, not PMI, primary mortgage insurance. I think that's what it's called. I have a mortgage insurance. That's what it said on the screen. That's what I'm going with. And when I looked it up, it's a PMI or MI. So you may have PMI, you may have MI, but we only put 10% down. If you have 20%, then that's or higher in equity, I think it is, then they drop your mortgage insurance or PMI. That is something you would also have to call the bank and say, hey, I'd like an assessment, or not an assessment. They would have to see if your equity in your home is high enough that they can drop the extra mortgage insurance. Right now we're paying $30.10 a month. I don't know if we got to that point or not. I can't remember the word that it's called. I want to say assessment, but I don't think that's what it's called. You probably know what it is, and you're probably screaming at me, and I do apologize. If you remember the word, put it in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. If not, don't worry about it. So that's what our mortgage insurance is. I'm hoping within the next year we'll have that drop off, just the way the property value is going up and everything. So, and if the word comes to me, I'll let you know. So that gives me $385.13 left in the transaction. So where does it go next? It goes to homeowners insurance. That's what HOI for right here stands for, homeowners insurance. So you can get that through insurance companies. You have to have it before you get your mortgage. So that's put in the escrow and then paid. I think it's paid once a year, but they collect it all year and then pay it. I will say I did have a little bit of a scare here. Because I got a letter in the mail that said, I know sometimes people forget, but we did not receive, life gets busy and people forget, but we did not receive your homeowner's insurance payment. And I went, what? It's through an escrow. Of course you received it. I got a letter from the mortgage company that they paid it. And apparently when the letter came out and when the payment hit were two different times. And, anyway. So I'm like, if it got paid and they accepted the payment because the letter said I did not have any coverage anymore, I'm like, do I have to go through this process all over again? What happened? I don't know. So I called the company we have our homeowners insurance with. I won't name who because I don't know what's right homeowner insurance for you in your area, and it's different depending on what kind of natural disasters happen and how frequently they happen in your area on rates and things. So that's something you would have to shop around for. But I called mine and I said, I got this letter that says I don't have homeowners insurance anymore. So she looked it up and she said, no, you have it. It's been paid. And I was like, well, why did you send the letter? She goes, I just think it was a timing thing because she couldn't find where in the system it said it didn't have it. So I'm like, okay. So anyways, that came to $196.13, and you make that payment, and that is the county tax payment, and that eats up the whole $2,522.99 of my mortgage. That is how my mortgage is broken down in detail for everything that we're paying in it. So I hope this helps you kind of break down your mortgage. You can look through for these things in your statement or online. You can ask questions for your own mortgages and find out, is this the right rate? Is this the right this? Is it the right that? Am I understanding this clearly? Because it's more than just making a payment for 15 or 30 years or however long you're paying for it. It's also, you want to know what they're doing behind the scenes. The payment may sound great, but what are you really paying for? And that is the important part of this. Now, my interest rate on my mortgage is 5.99, which right now is pretty good because I think the average rate is much more than that here in September of 2024. Will I refinance in the future? I don't know. Depends on closing costs, and would it be cost effective, and would it interfere with how our mortgage is set? Because it's not about the payment, it's not about lowering the payment, it's about having the payoff date, the date we want the mortgage out of our life. And if it's not cost effective at the closing or anything like that with the bank, then it's not worth doing. But if you feel like you're always going to have a mortgage payment and you're choosing that, then you're going to spend more money if you're not paying attention. Even if you lower the amount, they're going to restart that 30 years thing again. My dad did that and he was crushed by it. He was like, I can't believe I did that. He just wanted to lower the payment, and in order to lower payment, they just refinance and restructure the actual mortgage and into lower payments and reset it back to 30, and he didn't realize they were going to do that. So that's how that works. Now that we've gone over the mortgage, I've shown you how much we've saved, and we know where we are on the amortization schedule, and we have logged everything. We are done with the Mortgage Monday on a Tuesday. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.